Hello, good evening everybody, and welcome to round number 5 of the North American Grand Prix Monday Night Championship, coming to you live here from Spa Francorchamps, the 1966 layout, and quite a race in store for you guys tonight. I am joined by my broadcast partner, Brad Maris. Brad, welcome.
Well, thank you, Al. You are joined by me, and thanks for having me as usual. Boy, so can't get two very different tracks, right? Monaco last week, Spa 1966 layout this week. Holy cow. Can't get two more different tracks. However, it doesn't necessarily mean our results aren't going to look similar than they did last week when we had all those retirements. So I'm sure we'll get to that in a little bit, but qualifying has started. I'm ready to go, Al.
Yeah, we have switched over to qualifying here. This is a very dangerous track. It is 11. I'm sorry, it's going to be an 11-lap race, 14,000 kilometers, and man, reminiscent of the old days, you know, the Nordschleife, the A1 ring, and it's just an unbelievable circuit. Much improved from last time we raced here last season. Chuck Carter, who brought this track to us, is working diligently on this track and fixing some issues that were found last season. But those should all be corrected here. And, guys really seem to enjoy it as compared to last season. A little bit more forgiving.
You know, it is a little bit more forgiving, and especially so, I would say, in this Ferrari 312, as opposed to the Formula Lotus that we ran the previous time here. The combination of both those things, the track a little bit easier, maybe in my mind a little too easy. I like the permadeath track, but that and the combination of the Ferrari 312 is going to handle this place a little bit better also. Still plenty of danger out there. We will see some retirements. We'll see some very close action, some drafting down these very long straights. So it's going to be a good time no matter what happens.
Well, we got a few moments here while these people are out on their out laps. Let's take a look at the track map for tonight. Some familiar names here on the circuit. La Source, Eau Rouge, of course, Lacombe. But after that, it is the layout where it goes through the Belgian countryside. Stavelot, Blanchimont, and yeah, just an outstanding circuit. I was driving it briefly. Made it a lap without killing myself, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby, Al. I made it a lap as well without killing myself. It was the other 5 or 6 that didn't work out so well, but yeah. Oh, it's a fun track, and as always, you know, we're gonna see here who has prepared and who has not. Now, of course, it was John Houston last time out, getting maybe the surprise victory. Maybe not the surprise of the victory, but how he won it, just driving away from the entire field and surviving where everyone else kind of failed.
Yeah, he crushed the field here last season, and notice the track record set by him with a 3:14.8. But we saw Luis Nieto dip into the 3-minute 12 range in practice. If that holds up, who knows? But interesting note about the race last season here. We only had 5 finishers, and believe it or not, when they ran this race, Chris Moses posted a nice little tidbit. When they raced here back in '66, there was also only 5 finishers at this race. So pretty amazing how I think they had 16 or 17 cars start in '66, and a lot of accidents, probably a couple deaths, but yeah. So we are underway. Luis Nieto on a flyer here, making his way now down the Kemmel Straight through Lacombe and into the countryside, Brent.
Yeah, he sure is. So a lot of portions of this track are going to be flat out. Some of the corners are going to be flat out, kind of depending on how you get set up for your entry. Okay. Once again, you have to kind of drive ahead of these cars. You have to make your inputs a little bit ahead of where you would maybe want to, and you have to know where you're going to be going and point yourself in the right direction kind of ahead of time. So Luis Nieto so far with that 21.9 out lap. Well, shoot, that's not that bad, all things considered. So coming up, what is coming up here? Malmedy, if I'm not mistaken. Very difficult left to right chicane, and of course after that we have the Stabilo turn. Not pretty well judged there. We will see a lot of action at those two chicanes coming down that straight, no doubt about it, as they are very difficult to navigate at speed and in traffic. When you're following close behind somebody, Al, it can take some air off the wing, and of course it impairs those sight lines. Ooh, taking some curve there at Stabilo, and now coming in and setting up a little wide and diving to the inside, but not quite. Able to maintain a maximum throttle there, it looked like. Didn't have too much of a lift, but during the race, we will have to see some of those guys lift, especially if they're close to the competitor in front. And a blast here in a couple turns, and then we'll come up to Blanchimont, the next very critical part of this circuit. Flat out through there, but a little lift kind of needed coming through here. Don't know the name of this corner in this layout. Yeah, even shifts down to fourth. Oh, takes a little wide. We're going to see quite a bit of that as well here tonight, Al.
Yeah, had to drop a gear there.
And I found on my recon laps, dropping into fourth there seemed to work best, yeah. So now coming up here to Blanchimont, and maybe into third, yes, into third for Luis Nieto coming through here. Stays off the grass. This grass actually, with the re-workout here of the track, is very sticky now, and it will grab those tires and slow you down.
Sourced. As it's known, the surface does come up quick here. That's a pretty nice lap from Luis as he takes it to the line. Provisional pole with a 3:15.7. We've seen better laps from him, as Moses now with a 3:14.8. John Houston setting a time of a 3:15.6. So Chris Moses quickly out to provisional pole. Let's not forget that Nieto is carrying some success ballast here tonight, 40 kilograms. He's won the last two races in a row. His teammate, Ronnie Nunez, looks like he is on an out lap. Still several guys have yet to turn in a time here. Gup Douglas making his Monday night debut here. Raced a few races last season, but back again for this event in the pit lane.
And did Gup make this event in the Formula One Lotus last time?
I believe he did, actually.
It seems to me I might have remembered him logging in. Hey, Gup's not going to miss a Spa 66 event. Assetto Corsa or no.
Let's see, looking at... Oh, yeah, he finished fifth. Yep, he had a good run now that look at the results here. So John Houston looking mighty quick in the first sector, up in sector 1. Luis Nieto up in sector 2. Parsons has jumped up to second in the timing, in the time sheet. Notice Nieto banging off the rev limiter down some of these straights, so...
Yeah, and that could really hurt if we're in race conditions here. He's going to want those revs to try to set up for some of those draft passes down the straights.
Following now, John Houston. Oh, Nieto up big in sector 2, 8/10.
Yeah, looking at Luis Nieto in that first lap. Don't know where he lost that time that he has now gained from. It looked like a clean lap the first one, but yeah, definitely going better the second.
John Houston 7/10 up in sector 2. So Houston.
Oh, he wants the back-to-back.
Oh, yeah. Using all the track there for Houston. These two guys pretty close to one another on track.
Yeah, some of the toughest corners coming up now if you're John Houston, especially when you see those times flashing up. Know you need just a little bit more here for that provisional pole. Got to push it a little bit. Oh, that'll really hurt some exit speed. Oh!
Ooh, yep, Houston lost it. That was a good lap for Houston. Nieto looking very tighty through La Source. And this is going to be a good lap for Lewis. Most likely to shoot him up the pole. Ooh, lost a bit of time in the final sector, but good enough for provisional pole with a 3:13.4. Best Moses by nearly 1.4 seconds.
Not too shabby. I don't think we've heard the last of these guys yet. These are long laps, and the time is ticking off now. Just 15 minutes to go here.
Yeah, I wouldn't let these lap times in this qualifying session fool anybody. I think once the race gets underway, it's a whole different ball game.
Boy, you are so right.
There's plenty of opportunity to make a mistake here at such a big track and you know, kill your overall lap time. But some of these guys like Houston in particular, we were just talking about, he was up big, made a mistake there, and right now he's stuck in fourth. He could find himself up a little further up here coming up, but have to wait and see if he can run a clean one. Marty Uren was running pretty solid here in practice leading up to tonight's event.
Sure, obviously likes the track well, finished on the podium there. One of those five finishers we had last time. So he obviously feels like he can get around this place pretty well.
Yeah, Marty finished second. Houston winning the race. Marty second. John Wathen taking third on the podium. So if there was ever a night for a surprise win here or someone taking their first win, it could be that this could be the race. Mike Monahan up to sixth. Bit off the pace here in qualifying, but still looking good there in sixth. John Wathen. Wathen, a lot of experience here at this track. Kind of languishing a bit here, Brad, back in seventh.
Well, you know, some guys are going to set up for outright pace, and other guys, I suspect, like Wathen, is going to focus just on the race pace and just coming home as a survivor. And it worked out pretty well for him last time, and I think that's what my focus would be on. Look, if you're qualifying anywhere inside the top 10, I think you're actually doing pretty good, assuming you can avoid any freakishes there on the opening laps, which, you know, could be difficult, but...
So Marty bests his time with the 3:15. The way I approach tracks like this, notably, you know, the Nordschleife, as Wathen nearly takes it off into the grass. Ooh, Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor back in 12th. He's up in sector 2. Let's follow Matt around here as he completes this lap. But you know, my goal typically is just to qualify, like you said, in the top 10. I know I can't personally run well enough to be up on pole for such a long lap. It's just too much for me.
Well, it's not the amount of corners that are going to get you around here. It's the difficulty of the corners. I think, you know, there's not an overabundance of them, but they're all difficult ones to get right if you want to carry good speed.
So Taylor jumps up to 7th. Wow, great lap from Matt, under a 10th off of Luis Nieto, and that's pretty amazing considering it's such a long lap. Man, and he did not look good in the first sector.
Pretty close times, and you know Luis Nieto's not going to stand for that. 2 wins in a row. You know, this guy says, "Yeah, give me the 40 kilos. I don't care. I'll put it on pole." But we'll see. Time's running short.
Sam Wolf is currently 11th. We just had jump up the time. Chuck Carter. His track running in 7th. He finished 4th here last season. Kevin Miller up to 8th as we run down the timing sheet. Mike Monahan in 9th. Tough end to Mike's race last week. Was running really well at Monaco and just got caught up involved in an accident and eventually took him out of the race. Talking about John Roth, and he is in 10th, about to complete a lap here. Let's see where he ends up. And he jumps up to 7th. Just got dispatched down as Nunez now up to 5th. So these times quickly shuffling around up near the top. Kevin Miller, like I said, in 10th. Monahan has now dropped to 11th. Five still in 12th. Wolf in 13th. Brian Story back there in 14th. Greg Myers. Myers with a fantastic finish last week. He is in 15th. Ken Baldwin, he is in 16th. Jack Ivey, currently in 17th. We missed Jack last week, but good to have him back here tonight. Brian Jones in 18th. Richard Gupp, he is in the pits. David Raleigh out on track. He is in 20th. Peter Sabo filling in for Ian Jolicoeur. He is in 21st. I believe Sabo has a no ball for tonight's race. So back up front, it's Nieto even through the first 2 sectors as Greg Myers sets his personal best here. Looks like Todd Traskell's having some issues trying to get into the circle.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, you know, Tom actually had a chance. Was kind of looking pretty decent last week. Was running, you know, was running off the pace, but not running too badly. But too many unfortunate contacts. Anyway, point is, I'm sure he's looking for a little redemption. So hopefully he gets in and gets it sorted out.
Taylor's about to start a hot lap. Nieto is going to be able to improve as he comes to the line. He does not. Lost a bunch of time there in the final sector.
Looks like he's going to set up for
another lap.
Yeah. You know, that having Taylor right in front of him, that could hurt him or help, but probably more hurt than help.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 7/100ths of a second separating the two. Maybe trying to get Taylor's head a little bit here. Only 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, maybe. It's possible, but not too likely. Matt will probably keep focus pretty much ahead, but boy, yeah, Nieto had a bit of a mistake there, so I don't know.
Parsons a little behind in sector 1. He takes off. He is on the hot lap just ahead of Matt Taylor. So Parsons carrying 20 kilograms of ballast behind in sector 2. Taylor up big in the first sector. 3/10.
Yeah, and you suspected that he was giving up a little bit of time there, and I think he has proven that. But yeah, we've seen those second and third sector times that he kind of dwindle away there for Matt Taylor. But then again, he's only had a couple laps. But this could be the one.
Still think we have yet to see the best from John Houston. He could be, he could sneak up there in the top 2. Before this session's over with. Currently back at 6th, but I think we might see a surprise from Houston here before this session ends.
Yeah, you know, I haven't had a chance to take a look at his times, which I'm going to do now. Some of the best times, you know what I mean? John Houston logged 15:06, so actually hadn't run any low fuel laps.
laps completed for Houston. Taylor up in the second sector now.
Yeah, big. Wow. Oh, this is the one. Gotta keep it together now.
He's got some traffic up ahead.
Uh-oh.
Low flexible path. Whoa, that was close there, heading into Blanchimont. This could be the pole-setting lap. Ooh, got a little run to the source.
Yeah, had to take a chance though, getting by with the kind of lap you're on and time running out. Let's see if it holds up.
It does. 3:12.4. Wow. Big gains there from Matt Taylor. Wow. Besting Nieto by nearly a full second.
Yeah, and I believe that's the server best lap time there, Al.
Absolutely it is. As Nieto, he is pushing now. You see him run wide. Parsons in the pits. Chris Moses on an outlap. Nunez carrying 35 kilograms of ballast for this. Taylor not carrying any ballast at all for this race.
Yeah, and so you would expect him to be able to manage a pretty good time out there, a driver of Matt's caliber.
So Nunez carrying 35, Moses carrying some success ballast as well. As Miller improves his personal best, he is good enough for 9th. Parsons coming out of the pits. Moses on an outlap. Nunez looks like he's having some difficulties here. 9/10 off in the first sector, 1.7 off in sector 2. Our Drivers' Championship leader currently back in 5th.
I was thinking the same thing, that he did look like he was struggling a little bit. So 5th place, not where he wants to be.
So we got just over 3 minutes to go here before we complete this session and move over to the race. Nick Feimster, seeing him pop up here, lost a bunch of time in the second sector. Was only second off in sector 1, but looks like that lap came unglued for him. Myers still on track. Taylor on track. So we are now watching Aaron Parsons. He's on a flyer. Yeah, hopefully Tom can figure out his connection. Too bad if he can't get in.
Yeah, obviously having some serious difficulty with it, but yeah, time is running out now if you're Tom Traskell. Okay, I've had some infrastructure stuff going on here, Al. Sorry, I've been a little distracted. Where are we at? Ooh, Nunez. Nunez dropped.
Yeah, I think Nunez is content. He typically does this when we join. He's currently in 5th. Nieto 3/10 off in sector 1. He's on a flyer.
Ooh, Taylor loses it. Taylor's done.
Yep, Taylor's all done. He's in the pit lane. Story with his personal best, 3:18. Good enough for 14th currently. Yeah, what a lap for Taylor. I mean, he wasn't even close. In the practice leading up to this, he was lap times around, I think his best was 14, but he figured something out in this qualifying session that really put an exclamation point on this session here if he can hold on to this qualifying lap. But I don't see anybody even coming close to that point.
No, well, I think Matt Taylor, like a lot of guys, really have been focusing on their race setups and figured, well, you know, as long as I start somewhere on the grid and try to survive the race. That's job number one. So I think that was going on, and then these guys figured, well, I'll go ahead and put the low fuel on and make some adjustments as qualifying goes along, see what happens. I think we're seeing some of that.
Nieto comes to the line, and he does not improve. So still has time to get one in here. So as long as you get the lap started before the time checkers come out, you're still good. As Marty now improves, he jumps up to 6th, bumping Houston down to 7th. So I think Houston is on a flyer here.
Yeah, he's on a flyer, but off the pace, it has to be said.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where he is on track. Oh, he's at the end of the lap. So yeah, he's all done. Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, an outside shot for John Houston to improve, but he certainly won't snatch pole.
Parsons, he's just thrown it off. Monahan's done. Wathen, who's back in 10th, he is 9/10 off in the first sector. He is on a flyer here.
Yeah, well, he's definitely got a chance to pick up some positions here.
Nieto continues on his lap, 4/10 off in sector 1. Everybody else, I believe, in the pits. The blue little square next to their name there, next to their time, indicates they're in the pits.
Now, looks like Wathen and Nieto are going to close out the session. Ooh.
Oh, and Nieto's taking it off track. Don't think there was any chance of for Nieto there to improve, regardless. But Wathen a bit off there in sector 2.
As we watch Wathen circulate here, if you're Luis Nieto, you're carrying the 40 kilograms of ballast, go ahead and throw caution to the wind. If you throw it off track, you still start on the front row, why not?
Oh, that's all the Wathen. He is off into the woods. And that's it. That session really flew by there, Brad, as Matt Taylor securing, I believe that's his first pole this season, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. So Matt Taylor throws it on pole here with a fantastic lap, a 3:12.415, besting Nieto by over a second, and Parsons by 2.1 seconds. So pretty significant difference there, 1 through 3. But like we said, leading up to this is a race where it's not about how fast you are, it's about finishing. So some of these guys really push it to the limit and make some mistakes. So that gives some of these guys a little further back, perhaps. Just be a little patient, keep it clean, and who knows where you're going to finish tonight, Brad.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely right, particularly based on last year's results. So, I think Matt Taylor is definitely throwing down the gauntlet, but now, like you say, you have to back it up and prove that performance out on a very difficult track. Probably, frankly, one of the most lackluster qualifyings we probably have ever had on Monday night, but as you say, this the meat and potatoes of this thing, the meat is definitely the race coming up, and that's what these drivers are looking at. So this is what's counting, and we will have more than 6 finishers this event, but still we are going to see some attrition out there.
Yeah, for sure, and patience is going to be a virtue here, especially in this opening stanza. But the race tonight, it is going to be, like I said, 11 laps. So a pretty quick run here tonight. 150 kilometers, 11 laps. Should run about 40 minutes there, so there, give or take. It's a really fast circuit, so distance gets covered rather quickly here. Let's take a look at the standings here for season 30 here. We're through 4 rounds on Monday nights. I mentioned Ronnie Nunez back there in 5th. He's currently leading the championship with 78 points. Just 5 points up on Chris Moses in 2nd. Matt Taylor in 3rd, your pole sitter tonight, now with 60 points. Aaron Parsons in 4th with 57, and Luis Nieto, after missing, I believe, the first 2 rounds, is coming on strong here after those 2 wins the last 2 races. He is now in 5th with 51 points. In the team championship, Monty Python Racing has propelled themselves up to the top spot in the team championship with 139 points. That's Ronnie Nunez and Luis Nieto. Precision Motor Racing 132, Chris Moses and Matt Taylor. They have been dominating the team championship on Monday night, but looks like there's a new sheriff in town, Brad. They're going to have to get to work. T-Brock Dam Bam in 3rd with 85 points. That's John Hewson and Aaron Parsons. You got the taxi service in 4th. Greg Myers and Sam Rolfe with 62 points. They're having a great season. And Kung Fu Racing in 5th with 56 points. That is Ian Jolicoeur and Marty Uren. So a pretty tight championship throughout both the teams and the drivers. So still a lot of racing left here. We're not even at the halfway point. And it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out as we get closer to the end here. But this is our last race before we, this is our last race before the Christmas break. We'll be back 2 weeks from tonight, so hoping for a great show here tonight compared to last week. Anything would be better. So let's run down the starting order for tonight, Brad. We got Matt Taylor, who we just witnessed snatching pole here with a very impressive lap, 3:12.4. Followed by Luis Nieto in 2nd. Aaron Parsons going to start 3rd. Chris Moses 4th. And Ronnie Nunez in 5th.
Yeah, on the podium last year, but starting 6th this year, Marty Uren. John Hewson's going to start right behind him in 7th. Mike Monahan put in a nice time for 8th. Kevin Miller will start 9th. And John Wathan in 10th.
Chuck Carter's going to start 11th. Jake Feimster in 12th. Greg Myers 13th. Brian Storer is going to start 14th. And Sam Rolfe in 15th.
Ken Baldwin takes 16th. Jack Ivey starts 17th. David Rowley from across the pond starts 18th. Brian Jones is in 19th. And Gup Douglas starts 20th. And I'll finish him off because we don't have too many more. Peter Sabo will round out the field there with that no qualification penalty.
Yeah, Sabo is, like I said, filling in for Ian Jolicoeur. So, Brad, we mentioned it's about survival here tonight. We got 30 seconds to go. Any predictions?
Well, you like Matt Taylor starting out front. If he can get away clean, he's got a good shot to break away a little bit from the field, control the pace, and calm the nerves here if he survives the opening couple laps. Look for Matt Taylor to finish this one off.
10 seconds to green here. The lights have come on. Green flag from Spa. Very nice launch there from Matt Taylor as he's going to lead the field into Eau Rouge. And Mike Monahan with a problem quickly into the pits. Ooh, Nieto all over the back of Taylor through Eau Rouge. And he may get a run here down the straight. Field storming down here. This is a big corner. You see a lot of guys take it wide into the wall. Matt Taylor very close through there. Kevin Miller, looks like most of the field has gotten through okay. Keeping it together. Oh, nice.
Looking good so far.
Yeah, looking very good. Wow, what a start from these two up front. It is Matt Taylor and Nieto. Nieto taking it a bit wide and keeps it together. These guys really rocketing away. Moses just got overtaken by Ronnie Nunez up to fourth, so I don't know if Moses might have made a little mistake at the checkup and gave up that position to Nunez.
Yeah, that Nieto mistake allowed Parsons a huge run, and he went rocketing by Luis Nieto. Parsons takes over the second spot.
Yeah, there you have it.
So it was a very minor mistake. Very minor mistake, but that grass is so tacky. It slows you down so much. A bit of a runoff there, and huge momentum swing.
Red with the run on Moses. Side by side, Moses! Oh, he is... heavy. Oh, huge impact.
And I can't clip it because Twitch locked up.
He is done. Wow. Unbelievable. I've never seen an incident quite like that in my life. Side by side with Marty. Something had to give there. Unbelievable. Ooh, Feimster out. Rally out. Moses out.
Uh-oh.
Now Taylor continues to lead the way here with Parsons and Nieto. Nieto has gotten back past Aaron Parsons.
Yeah, well, huge. You get a huge draft around here, and again, clipping that grass just a little bit creates that huge momentum swing. So we're going to see a bit of this. If these guys can keep it on track, they'll be
Parsons with a run on Nieto. From the pit lane as the ambulance is working on getting out to Moses' crash Ferrari. But they're having some
difficulty. It's 66. Yeah, I think they have to call in an ambulance from Belgium, so it'll be here in a couple hours.
It's not looking good for Moses.
No. Well, maybe his teammate Taylor will pull over and help him out of that fiery wreck.
So your running order through lap one, it's Taylor, Nieto, Parsons, and Nunez. Marty Aren now up to fifth. What a battle here between Parsons and Nieto. Again, Parsons all over the back of Luis Nieto.
Boy, and that Ronnie Nunez is not going away in fourth.
Oh, some contact! Ooh, it looks like Nieto's going to hang on to it. Be able to rejoin, yep. He's back on track, and he's on his way, but that's given Nunez now. That little incident allowed Nunez to get past and move up to the second spot, so, man, these guys carrying so much speed side by side through some of these corners.
Well, I was going to say, as we watch Aaron Parsons go back past, if Aaron Parsons had picked up damage, he could really be slow, but he's looking like he's got some pretty good speed still.
Nieto now is rejoined. He's back in ninth behind Sam Rolfe. Oh, bit of a moment there for Parsons. And, man, that's Nunez gets right back past.
That Malmedy is so difficult. Aaron Parsons could still have wing damage. The draft is so huge that even if these guys do pick up moderate damage, they can still get in the draft and have it be effective.
What a start from Kevin Miller and John Watton running 5th and 6th. Kevin Miller now up to 5th. Peter Sabo with the fantastic start from the back has worked his way up to 7th. And he's now all over the back, a three-way battle here between Miller, Watton, and Sabo. This can end in tears.
We'll see how long this lasts.
And Sabo makes his way past Watton. Watton could have pushed the issue there, but I believe he got better of it.
God, there's just so little grip. It's impossible, more or less, to run side by side if you want to carry any type of speed. It's just about impossible.
Makes the pass on Kevin Miller. Watson is nestled in behind these guys. Man, what a run Sabo's having as he's making his way, slicing through the field here. He's already miles ahead of Miller after getting past these two guys. Loren now
sure is,
all over the back of Parsons, having a look at LaSource.
I think Parsons has picked up some damage, so once he got out of the draft there, Ronnie Nunez, I think he is suffering some pretty significant aero damage, not able to get through the twisties.
Ryan Story in the pits. Szabo now setting fast lap of the race with a 3:17.5. Oh, sorry.
Wow, really?
3:17.6. Houston with a 3:17.5. So those guys are flying. Houston back in 8th. So I wonder if Houston might have got caught up in something. Ooh, Marty looking on the outside.
Yeah, I think he may have gotten the braking a little wrong, or Aaron might have caught him out, braking a little early. Not sure which. Boy, this race, not so much a battle with your competition, but a battle with yourself, really. The track, like last week, is one of your main competitors around this place, and the traffic just adds another dimension.
Losing a bit of time there. Let's see what a little mistake can do here at this track. He gets up real quarter just slightly wrong. You see how much time you lose. A little further back. This battle between we got now Watson, Nieto, Watson in Houston. Houston making a charge here from, he fell back to 8th, so he's making a push here trying to catch up to Watson. He's starting to really close up on him and about to make a move on him. And Szabo, looks like he is done.
Oh! From hero to zero in the course of 3 laps here,
yeah.
Peter Szabo.
Yep.
Unfortunate. But, I mean, it was obvious he was taking some chances out there.
So, Houston working his way through the field here to 7th. He's got Luis Nieto in his sights.
Well, he does.
Yeah, he does.
He's not giving anything up to that is John Watson or Houston to Nieto at the moment.
Kevin Miller up there, not too far up from these guys. This is going to turn into a 3-way battle here coming up. Ooh, Chuck Carter out. That's good.
Well, we're going to have to slow down our retirement fest here if we want more than 5.
Nunez now setting fast lap. He goes on the inside of Kevin Miller. Gets a nice pass done there. Nunez 3:16.5. Best lap of the race thus far. Houston all over the back of Kevin Miller. And another report on from the pits. Looks like some locals have managed to extract Chris Moses from his Ferrari and are tending to him on site until the ambulance shows up.
Oh, that is a good update, Al. Glad there's good news on that. Are they going to set the bones?
What's that?
Are they going to set the bones in the pit lane or wait till they get to the hospital?
They might want to win. You see some livestock in the area. You don't want to feed him to the pigs. Hopefully he survives. Well, meanwhile, Houston has made the pass on Kevin Miller. And really pushing hard here, trying to hang on to the back of Luis Nieto. Nieto personal best 38.9, so Houston 17.4. He's got some pace on Luis. Luis, no doubt, suffering a slight bit of damage when he had that contact with Parsons earlier on.
Yeah, and the second part of that, Aaron Parsons now is coming under attack once again from Marty Uren, who definitely has better pace than Parsons at the moment. So that is a fight for the podium spot at the moment.
Just pick that up, Marty closing the gap here on Parsons. A little further back, up Douglas and Brian Jones with their own little tussle going on here. Up not too far off of Jones, as now Parsons and Uren are side by side.
Uh-oh.
And Marty's going to rocket past Parsons to take over that spot, move up to third.
You know, if Parsons does have damage, now is the time for Marty to try to push for a little extra gap.
Oh, big slide and big save from Marty. Wow.
Yeah, Andy got tagged in the rear there, I think, from Aaron Parsons.
Yeah,
so doubly nice save. I
couldn't tell if he did or not, but you know what, Brad? I'm looking at that gap up front. That's only 2 seconds. It's starting to drop.
Yeah. It's been that way now, and I think Nunez is thinking he might have a little something from that Taylor at the front.
But Taylor responds with the sets at 3:16.5, and right after that, Nunez responds with the 3:16.1. So those guys really laying down some fast laps up front.
Oh boy! Now wait, Nieto has dropped back. Is he? Oh, he's into the pits.
Nieto into the pits for service. So we're in that pit window working lap 5. So coming in a lap early, I take it. He's gonna. Looks like these guys up front are gonna run 6 and then 5. Nieto is gonna run 5 then 6.
Yeah, he wants to get in, I think, a little early and repair any damage that he might have, so he doesn't lose, another lap worth of time with damage out there.
Further back, John Watson and Kevin Miller, these two still holding court here. They're pretty consistent lap time between the two of them. Is my mic bad?
Yeah, whatever. Probably not.
Meanwhile, Brian Story looks like he's still in the pits. So Taylor is, Taylor just extended his lead to 3.8, nearly 4 seconds. It looks like Ronnie may have had a little bit of an issue. But meanwhile, Parsons has popped back up to Marty here.
Yeah, boy, Marty had that little change of focus going from the car behind to the car in front, and so I think Aaron Parsons has taken advantage of that. But like I say, Marty, you're in. You figure Aaron Parsons, if he has damage and can get it fixed, will have better pace. So Marty, you're in, definitely wants to try to pull a gap here before those stops, and Aaron Parsons getting his damage fixed.
Looks like that stop's going to be coming up right now at the end of this lap. Nieto has stopped and has rejoined in 11th.
Okay, and he may encounter a little bit of traffic as he tries to recover from that early incident with Parsons. So he will want to navigate that traffic as quickly as possible. Of course, down to now 13 cars, so not too much traffic out there as there could be.
Yeah, things are looking bright here compared to last time we ran up this track. La Source. Should expect these two to come into the pits for service as Parsons really closes up the gap on the braking here. Marty in.
Oh, in and out.
In and out. Got it wrong there. Carrying a little too much speed.
Yeah.
But he is in. Parsons stays out. Nunez and Taylor have stayed out, so it looks like my strategy prediction was a bit off here, as these guys are stretching it out here. Oh, actually, they're working lap 6, so at the end of this lap, should come in.
Well, you know, over the course of the season, we've seen the soft tires possibly be an issue. These guys needing to get off them, you know, definitely not more than halfway. However, tire degradation not so bad at this track, and again, it is a bit of a shorter race duration, so we won't have any trouble with the tires here tonight. In fact, I'm kind of wondering if maybe some guys can double stint those softs. But boy, if you're Matt Taylor out front, you can't feel too comfortable here at that 3-second lead. I think if you're Matt Taylor, this is a little bit less comfortable than you'd like to be, having to maintain a pretty decent clip here to stay ahead of that charging Ronnie Nunez.
Ooh, big slide from Nieto. Marty Uren, after his service, he comes out ahead of Marty Uren comes out ahead of Nieto by about 10 seconds. Good start from Marty.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at those lap times versus those two and see if Luis Nieto can crawl back that time by the end of this event. Only 5 laps to go, but they are 5 tough laps.
Scream? I don't try to scream.
Oh, I think it, you know, a little distortion, it happens.
Yeah, sometimes things get exciting.
No, yeah.
I've heard worse mics. I can't have the worst one ever. That's a stretch. We're a low-budget production. Gotta cut us some slack here.
What are you talking about? We're the highest level production on Twitch. What do you know, come on.
All right, so Nunez and Taylor quickly approaching the end of this lap 6. Nunez is really good in terms of his pit strategies and getting in and out quickly. He might be able to make up some time on Taylor here in the pit stop. Got Douglas in the
let's
pit.
see, what do we have? Ah, okay.
Ooh, Gup is
disconnected.
Done. Oh, that's a shame.
What the hell happened there? Oh, maybe he flew off some. Oh, might be another death. Ah, here's Taylor. So, holding to that slim 2.5 second lead.
This could be for all the marbles right here, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor and Parsons should be due in this time by. Marty has already come in and pitted. Parsons is in. You see him just coming into the pits now. John Houston in. Taylor is away. Nunez is away. Really quick stop. Nunez right at the end of the pit lane, so he's going to have a nice exit there. And yeah, he made up some time. That gap's only 1.5 seconds.
Boy, he did, and he's going to be feeling really good now.
Wow, what a stop from Parsons. He comes out only 10 seconds behind and ahead of Marty by 8. Wow.
Wow.
And Houston comes out ahead of Marty. Fantastic stop from those two.
Yeah, we saw Marty have that bobble coming into the pit lane. That could have been the difference, Al.
Yeah, I think carrying all that speed going in the pits automatically throws you in that pit limiter run, kind of caught him off. Saw it caught Nunez off a little bit there. Ooh, Nieto and Watton side by side. Nieto's going to take that spot away from John Watton. So Watton has pitted. Watton comes out. Well, Miller holds on to that position after stops, but Nieto, the wild card there, he comes out between those two guys.
Yeah, and if you're Luis Nieto right now, still trying to recover from that incident, you just have to be as careful as you can possibly be making those passes now from now on. You don't want to have to recover all the way back up to the 7th, only to throw it away and come away with no points here.
Ooh, it looks like Marty's slow. Marty is slow.
Ooh. Off track.
Terminal. I think it's terminal, Brad. Yeah, he is done.
Oh, God.
It is terminal. I wonder if he put fuel in the car.
I don't know.
Wow, we just picked up that Nieto attempted pass on Kevin Miller. Oh, Nieto! Oh, big hit! He's in the crowd. Oh man!
Whoa. That's just how close the margins are. I mean, you have so little handling. There's so little margin for error, and Luis Nieto was maybe a couple centimeters offline there. That's all it took.
Yeah, that was all him. Miller was tucked up behind him, so there was no contact between the two.
Just carrying too much speed on entry.
Let's see if Nieto whips that car back. And don't know how badly damaged the car is, but good opportunity for those guys to pick up some more points on PMR if Nieto stays in. Now Nunez, boy, this battle up front as Nunez starting to close up. So Marty's out. Gap now 1.5 seconds between Nunez and Taylor.
Yeah, well, it's right there, and I think at this point, Matt Taylor, it does have a little bit more left in the tank. I think Matt probably could push a little bit harder than he is. I think he's really watching that gap and trying to manage the distance to second place. Oh!
John Houston has had some serious issue and is now under stress here from Watton and Kevin Miller.
Boy, this can be important for this team, John Houston and Aaron Parsons. They're running really well right now, and this is a tight battle, so John Houston does not want to lose these spots.
John Houston, defending race winner here at Spa 66. It's coming unglued. Miller with a huge run on Houston. He's going to make that pass. Whoa! And he gets past. That was a close call there. See what Watton can do.
Yeah, these cars so difficult. You throw this track in the mix, and then you throw other people running around you in the mix. Holy cow.
Watton. Attempted slingshot there. Almost got into the back of John Houston, so we tried again and got it done this time around. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, it's safe to say I think John Houston definitely is off the pace here. Has picked up some damage, so for him, boy, he just has to... He wants to
oh, he's off again.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's back on track, so... Yeah, he's just got to reel it back in here and keep it together for these last few laps.
Boy, any viewers not familiar with this Ferrari 312 and the kind of season we're having here going, WTF with these guys, what's going on? Sign up. Sign up. Give it a shot. Because this is some difficult stuff here, and And these guys are running them as well as they can. These guys are some pretty good shoes behind these wheels, and to see them struggle, you know that conditions out there are tough.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Brad. I mean, no aids, no traction control, no nothing. You know, it is.
Yeah.
It's a handful. You got to give these guys a lot of credit. As Nieto now making a pass on Jones. Jones back in 10th. Jones looking to make the repass on Nunez. It's going to be all Nieto as he gets past. But this battle here between Watson and Miller has been ongoing for quite some time. No change in positions. Miller just doing enough to keep Watson at bay. And the battle for the lead here is starting to inch closer yet again. Keeps going from 1.5 seconds to about 2.5, and then going back down as Nunez doing all he can. Keep in mind, Nunez carrying 35 kilograms of success ballast compared to 0 for Taylor.
Oh, that's a good point. This has turned out to be a good run. It's really been a great run for both these guys. I tell you, they are under some serious stress in the cockpits right now, trying to close or maintain the gap, depending on which one you are. And still, they're running, trust me, as hard as they possibly can on the very limit of what these cars can do. So to maintain this through even 9 laps, believe me, it's a lot. And I think it's still anybody's game for those two at the front. You know, there's still plenty of opportunity for these guys both of them to blink once or even twice.
Ooh, as Nunez takes it a bit wide. We haven't talked about Greg Myers really at all, as Nieto just made a pass on it for 8. But Myers running a pretty quiet race here, currently in 9th. It just seems like Greg's been pretty much on his own tonight. I haven't seen him mixing it up with anybody thus far, but running his race in 9th.
Boy, pretty much on his own. Speaking of, you know, we've only got 10 drivers at this point, so I might as well talk about them all. And that Brian Jones, hey, what? This guy, you know, he's only 10 seconds off Luis Neto, Luis Neto there, who's had some trouble, but still running and really looking to be pretty on pace.
Here we go.
In relative terms.
Here we go. Watson trying to make the pass on Kevin Miller, and he does. It's like Miller made a little mistake that allowed Watson to get a run on him. Let's see if Miller can respond to that. Nunez, meanwhile, up front was as far back as 3.6 seconds not too long ago. Yeah, this is the exact same place where I believe Moses and Marty went side by side. And ended in despair for Moses.
Stavalo's so tough, but if you're John Watson right now, okay, yeah, just backed off,
that spot
gave
back.
it up, didn't, you know, you might want to be thinking, don't push when you, whoa, here we go again. Whoa,
Watson. I don't think he heard you.
Coming down to it now. Two laps. Who's going to survive?
Just started lap 10. Gap is 1.8 seconds between the top 2. We have 10 cars running, which is saying something compared to last season.
16.5 by Parsons.
Yeah, turning the screws here late.
I'll be honest with you. I thought he was going to be able to eat into the gap with Taylor and Nunez fighting out there for the lead, but it hasn't happened. Parsons actually given up a couple seconds after those pit stops.
Yeah, he came out legally around 10 seconds behind, and he's giving up a couple of 3 seconds, like you say. And up to this point, you got to give Nunez and Taylor a lot of credit here. These guys have been really consistent and really hitting their marks here tonight. It's such a long. Oh, I believe Nunez had a bit of a moment there.
That's the broadcaster's curse for you.
Yep. So losing a couple more seconds here to Taylor. You know, Taylor's going to see that in his timing. Nieto now
he's happy.
Lap, 3:15 flat.
Yeah, he's looking at that big time Sam Rolfe right in front of him. He's feeling, hey, okay, I got 7th in my sights again, baby.
That gap now is 4 seconds.
Yeah, Matt Taylor's gonna, he's gonna go into, I don't know if he's going to shutdown mode, but I would be.
Nieto trying to pick up as many positions as he can here before this one closes out. He's all over the back of Sam Rolfe. Oh no! That was a bit hair raising. That was a pucker moment right there.
Okay, now if you're Luis Nieto, you go. Now he's going to go into shutdown mode too. I would just try to finish this thing off. Boy, it had been an up and down night for Luis Nieto.
Well, good on him to keep pushing him and staying this one.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that in seasons past, haven't we, Al? Where he gets in trouble and kind of pulls the chute after that. So absolutely right. He has stuck with it tonight. Very impressive.
Taylor leading now as he approaches the source to begin the start of the final lap here. He's got a 3-second cushion over Ronnie Nunez in second. This is just going to tack on some more weight for Nunez. The next race in 2 weeks, that's Zandvoort.
Yeah, well, with teammate Luis Nieto recovering to 7th, that's nice, but it's still not the type of points they would like to have. So if you're Nunez, I think you want to take whatever points you can, and weight be damned. If you have to carry more for for Zandvoort in a couple weeks, then that's what you got to do.
I'll tell you what, Nunez is really a lot better through Eau Rouge and the first sector. Picks up a lot of time on Taylor, but Taylor's second and third sector are so much better. I think Nunez is going to have enough here. And Watton and Miller. Watton is off a cliff. Let's see if he can bring that together. Here he is. He's resurfaced. He's back. So the gaps are pretty spread out at this point. The closest we see now is just this battle for the lead here between Taylor and Nunez, and as Nieto continues to set fast laps here. Resetting fast lap in the race with a 2:14.
Yeah, well, he's feeling in the groove, and I mean, sometimes to be on pace is preferable to really backing off too much. It can, obviously kind of screw up your entry points and whatnot. So that's fine, and he's obviously feeling okay, but you sure do want to finish this last lap off. And Taylor is taking a little easy. You see Nunez eating a little bit into that lead, but not going to matter if Taylor just cruises home to victory here. And well-earned victory, I think also it has to be said. He was under duress the entire event.
Ryan, I gotta be honest, it is a really impressive run for Taylor. Much like we saw last season with Houston hitting his marks and just driving away with it. Not as easy for Taylor this this running of Spa, but Nunez kind of
No.
all over the back of him, but still, just as impressive. But we still have, you know, a bit of track left here. Anything can go wrong.
Yeah, the ever dangerous Blanchimont to navigate.
Not a scratch to be seen on Taylor's car, or Nunez for that matter. Both these guys.
Yeah.
A couple hairy moments for Nunez, but he's got it together. And Taylor, the approach to La Source. It's going to be Matt Taylor taking the win here at Spa. Great showing for Taylor. Nunez as well. Another great run. Aaron Parsons. He's going to come home in third. What a recovery for Parsons to finish on the podium. Man, what a great job from Kevin Miller.
Yeah.
As he makes his way into La Source. But he's going to finish here in fourth. Nearly equaling his best finish this far. And podium a few races back.
Kevin Miller's not looking too shabby there in overall point standings either, it has to be said.
Not at all. It's a good showing for him. Big hit in the championship standings, however, for Moses. Watson's going to take home fifth. Great run for John Watson. Made things this interesting for us, but brings it home in one piece. John Houston bringing it home in sixth. What could have been for you. Lewis. Making things rather interesting there at the end, but he's going to bring it home in seventh. Sam Rolfe and his teammate Greg Myers, they're going to finish 8th and 9th.
Taxi service doing work.
They certainly are. And they're going to jump up in the point standings there in the team classification.
They sure are.
And Brian Jones, he's going to take
Great
his
run.
first top 10 finish of the season for Jones. Let's see if we can bring in Matt Taylor here. Here he is. Matt, do you copy?
I'm here.
What a fantastic drive you had tonight here, starting with qualifying. You know, I was looking at the practice times. I think you dipped into the 14s or something like that, and I saw Lewis, or even the 15s. I saw Lewis down in the 13s, and didn't think anybody had anything for Nieto. And then boom, there you go. You throw up a 3-minute 12, take pole by a second, and then that race you had, you just, you know, a little close there at the start, but you just drove away with it and really ran a perfect race. Pretty nice job, especially with Nunez there, not too far behind you.
Yeah, the qualifying lap was almost, I would say that was almost perfect. I nailed all the fast sections, and aside from, I think, coming up on a car there at the end, which really didn't hurt it. I don't know how much more there was in it. And then in the race, I just tried to make it through turn one and tried to settle in, and I saw Luis and Aaron must have got together there or something, and just kind of went into management mode, and I'd lift a little bit here, maybe brake just a little earlier and give myself maybe a couple feet on exit, keep it on the track, and I was determined that I was going to make Ronnie run me down, and he just wasn't quite able to where I really had to push.
Yeah, well, that's the deal. Despite that lead, being able to manage the pace, you still couldn't quite shake that Ronnie Nunez machine. And boy, he was carrying quite a bit of weight. And you know, I think maybe if I was in your shoes there, Matt, I'd be thinking, boy, you know, this guy's carrying a lot of weight on me. What do I have to do to try to get away from this guy here? And that gap stayed, you know, within at least 3 seconds over about the entire event. So must have been, you know, a little nervy there. perhaps, and then toward the end, of course, that gap closing down even further on the pit stops. Did you have some nerves throughout the course of the race and have some anxious moments out there with that?
Yeah, I would say definitely. It's especially at a track like this, it's kind of hard not to. And I think the nerves were more about the track and making that little mistake, touch the grass in the wrong spot. It seemed like if maybe I didn't carry maximum speed or something through a corner, it was still far more beneficial than risking just touching the grass or any of that. And so I knew he was back there, and I kept an eye on him and really just tried to race the racetrack. And it seemed like he'd really catch me through the last section, and I'd really be able to pull away through those first couple of corners and just kind of manage that.
Well, I know you mentioned earlier that you've been struggling a little bit with the car and getting a good feel for it. I mean, did something click tonight, or you still struggling a little bit, or have you come to grips with it?
I think it was better tonight. I made some adjustments to my wheel and the settings that seemed to have helped a lot, and I was able to drive it much more like I'm used to driving. We'll see going forward. This track, I think, is kind of a hard one to really get a feel if I'm there or not. I think the biggest indicator will be a couple weeks at Zandvoort.
Yeah, speaking of Zandvoort, you're going to be carrying some ballast there for that race. Really difficult circuit. It's going to be interesting in these cars to see them go around there. But we've seen some of these other guys like Ronnie tonight running with 35 kilograms of ballast. Doesn't seem to affect some of the quicker guys, I guess. But once you really start tacking it on, it can get a little tricky.
Yeah, I think it will. Definitely, I think noticeable tonight as far as qualifying goes. Zandvoort doesn't really seem to hurt somebody with weight, so it'll be really interesting to see what the pace looks like.
Well, congratulations, Matt. Really a fantastic drive, both you and Ronnie putting on a good show here tonight. So congratulations again. We'll see you in a couple weeks at Zandvoort. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Brad, pretty exciting race overall. I mean, we saw some really close battles, a lot of overtaking throughout tonight's race, and really was a joy to broadcast. Some really interesting moments out there.
Yeah, I think more or less we ended up with what we expected. Elevated retirements, a lot of passes, a lot of draft passing, a lot of close moments, and then quite a few spectacular exits
For sure.
from the server tonight. So those points are going to get shook up. That taxi service, what a heck of a job for those guys. But it's going to be that Monty Python's Racing, I think, continuing to stretch their points lead in that team classification a little bit, and I'm sure we'll update everybody on that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, like Brad said, in a couple weeks we'll be back here 9 p.m. Eastern from Zandvoort, 2 weeks from tonight. Until then, we will be at Spa for Super Pole on Thursday night, the modern day Spa in the GT cars. Marty Uran and John Watson will have coverage of that event. Single lap qualifying followed by a 30-minute sprint race. Always a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys can tune in for that. Until then, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you, Brad, and thanks everybody for another great year here at NAGP and for all your support. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.